We're going to look at a couple of different versions of hip flexor stretching. We have previous videos that show these in a side lying position. We have a video that shows it in supine where you hang your leg off a bed. There's a couple different versions you can do standing, and then there's another version kneeling. So for the standing version, we're going to assume that Will has tightness through the front of his thigh area there, hip flexors. So he's going to put one foot forward. So we're going to stretch the left hip flexor area. So I'm going to have him grab his pelvis. The first part of this, he might turn his back toe in, foot in, just toe in just a little bit. Make sure your stance is wide enough so you have pretty good balance. First part of this is you're going to do a strong posterior pelvic tilt. So tighten the tummy, so he tucks the pelvis in. Once he's there, he's going to maintain that. He's going to tighten the buttock muscle on this side. And without losing the posterior tilt, he's going to straighten his left knee. Without losing, and see, he's struggling to keep that posterior tilt. But at this point, he should feel a decent stretch in the front of that hip. And you can maneuver around just a little bit to get the optimal stretch. You can bend his front knee just a little bit to kind of lunge into it without losing the posterior tilt. Very often we see people, they start to come into it and they just completely lose that control. So this is actually a good control exercise as well. So it does double duty. It gets you stabilizing here, stretching this part, using the glute a little bit. Now we also have another version of this that can be done in the kneeling position. And the mechanics of this are very similar. So he's going to be down on one knee, stance wide enough so he's comfortable. He's going to position his hand so he can do a strong posterior pelvic tilt. And then tighten the glute, and then he's going to bring that pelvis forward a little bit without losing this pelvic tilt here. And at this point, he can feel a good stretch. Again, you can be sideways, go a little sideways one way or the other, and maybe get different parts of that to stretch. Mostly you just hold a stretch for 15, 20 seconds or longer. Some people will oscillate it with it a little bit. But as you come forward, you don't want to lose that pelvic tilt. You don't want to see him lunge and have that whole pelvic tilt just fall away. You just keep that good and tucked in. So the standing technique is good. Some people get so they can do it standing in a grocery store line. Some people get a more aggressive stretch by being in a kneeling position. So this would be something nice to add in after a run or just after a workout.